Hey, Dave.
Yes.
It's rare people hear my voice first.
It really is. I don't know if I like this.
I love it. What do you mean? Everybody's prepped now. They're ready. I'd like to start off with a joke. I'm the captain now. I have the joke this week.
I guess I will allow it.
Thank you.
Okay.
So a apostrophe and a comma were together in a relationship and decided to go to couples therapy because the apostrophe was just too possessive, but the comma just couldn't put an end to things.
But
okay. Is that what you were searching for?
Yeah, that's it.
I was expecting some banter or something. That's why I didn't rim shot. But whatever, fine. I'll start the music. Jeez Louise.
Start the music.
Brothers but not by birth, family but not by DNA. Dave and Adam are two of a kind, and they wanna borrow some of your day to talk into your ear holes about midi-chlorians and roller coasters. Those two things are unrelated, but so are they. They're unrelated at birth, like most people who aren't related. Unrelated at birth, but they're brothers in a brotherly way. Now it's time for the phenomenal
I've never done that before. I've never done that before.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
You ended the show. You ended the show last week, or the last time on just a random boom, and now you go. You end dude. The theme song is one of the best things about this show.
Here's the beauty of this. There are people that listen to our show, our wonderful listeners, that know on the podcast app, if I hit that 30-second button twice, I skip to the end. They're wondering what the heck is going on because we're probably a minute into this segment by now. Where did the theme song go?
Can I please say my thing, though?
Say what thing?
Well, first, you do your little rant.
This one?
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to start off the show. I got to tell the joke. I'm starting off with my thing, and then you can say whatever you want. How about that? I'm getting my things out of the way. Does that sound good?
Fine.
I got to give a shout out to Crazy Socks, dude.
Crazy Socks.
Crazy Socks. I have the most comfortable pairs of socks that I own, and I wear them to work all the time, to church, and with jeans. They're multi-purpose. Are a pair of Figment socks from Epcot that say "Let your imagination soar," and they have Figment on them. They are not the ones with the little wings coming off the back. It's
okay. Happy 41st birthday, actually. To
yes,
Figment.
Thank you very much. I have the popcorn bucket somewhere around here, but anyway,
did you buy the one with the imagination station?
Yeah. Sorry for everybody in podcast land, you can't see this.
No, you can't, but I'm sorry.
Yes, I did right here. And I got little crystals from Hobby Lobby so that when you turn the lights on, they glow inside
cool.
of there. See, yeah. But yeah,
I still like my big Figment popcorn bucket, though.
The one with the weird eyes?
He's not weird eyes. He looks like a Funko Pop.
He looks like googly-eyed Figment, man. Come on.
He looks like a Funko Pop.
This one's got the building. Anyway, but funky socks, pair of Figment ones. I have some that are a picture that Emma drew me for Father's Day. She drew a picture. And Blair sent it to a place that'll put them on socks. And then I've got a pair that have the tower and an airplane taking off of the airport that's right across the street from where we live.
Now that's cool.
So I have to give a shout out. I was sitting there today and I was like, what are we going to talk about tonight? And we were texting about it and you were texting. I wasn't texting back as usual. And,
yeah, because that's something else we'll talk about this week.
Well, this isn't therapy, Dave. Come on.
Oh,
so anyway,
it's my therapy.
So I just have to give a shout out to Crazy Socks. They're comfortable. They make a statement. And sometimes nobody even knows you're wearing something crazy. My Blair's parents got me some that have a picture of doors on it and says, "Shut the front door." It's a joke from a long time ago. And they found some that said that. And so that was a gift. That's a nice gift, you know? So if you know someone in your life that's got to drive into the office now, since all of corporate America has decided if we're not there in person, we're not productive, get them a pair of Crazy Socks. Brighten up their day a little bit. That's all I have to say about that.
And welcome back to the great, exciting, and wonderful Unrelated at Birth. As always, you've got the one, the only, the golden voice of the South, the human jukebox, Dave Adams, coming to you live and in living color all the way from the top of the state of Alabama. That's right, in Madison, Alabama, in the Unrelated at Birth podcast studios. And you've already heard him.
You said that like the Micro Machines guy. You were so amped up to say that.
That dude, it's been 3 weeks.
I made you wait an extra 5 minutes too, man. I'm sorry.
That's kind of how we're known. Is that's how we start. You hear the little the fiddle playing, and you hear and welcome back, and you know you stole that thunder from me. Yeah.
If you don't know why I keep playing that, go back to the last episode.
Because Adam doesn't like Usher. Just like he also doesn't like the Beatles.
I don't like the Beatles. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
You also don't like Michael Jackson.
That is not true.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to the Wayback Machine.
Wait. I have that. Oh. Wait. How far back are we going?
We are going to, I believe it was, 1999.
Okay.
No, actually, it was 2000. It was 2000.
Oh, man. I'm not going to. Go ahead.
What, go ahead, say it.
No, you have a memory like a. Never mind.
Steel trap? Yes,
no,
I do.
No, I was thinking more of a woman. No. Remember that one time you said that one thing in 1999?
The year was 2000.
No offense to our female listener.
You were. I had the BMW in Tuscaloosa. The 1989 Crimson Fire. Actually, it wasn't Crimson. It was Fire Truck Red BMW 325. It was beautiful, dude. And then the alternator went out. It was a beautiful spring day. You asked me to come pick you up at Morgan Hall, and I was bumping Michael Jackson, the History album.
I had the History album. You
got in the car and said, "Why the heck are you listening to Michael Jackson with your windows down and the sunroof up, like you're something?"
Well, okay, there's listening to Michael Jackson's History album, and there's listening to Michael Jackson's History.
It was Beat It, man. It was awesome. It was the Slash guitar solo, and you dogged it, man.
I didn't dog it. It was the method through which 'twas being listened to.
Now you remember, don't you?
I do remember. But I had that double CD thing with the big statue picture on the front of it. I had that too. Yep. It was the method by which it was being listened to.
See, you joke on me for having a memory. As soon as I triggered it, you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I'm not like, I remember 40 years ago when you said you'd come here at least twice a year, and then nothing ever happened. And
I don't do that. Come on now.
Anymore, because we came up there.
By the way,
this is therapy. Let's just get it all out. Come on.
Ellie has started that now. She's like, "Daddy, when is Emma going to come up and see us?"
Never. We have parlor donuts down here now. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I hope she doesn't hear that. That is not for real.
Oh man, yeah. Well, are you sure? Are you sure?
Jeez. See, there it is. I knew it. You can't suppress it for that long. I knew it was in there.
No,
it has been almost a year now. And we're coming down there for the second time in the last 8 months. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that it's like this.
I do say I'm just saying, don't I?
Anyway.
All right.
Oh, boy.
When I had a cool factoid.
Yeah, please share it.
A couple of weeks ago, I told you the story about how the Boeing building right next to the elevator has a really cool factoid every time you pass it.
Absolutely.
Yesterday's factoid was not cool, though. In 2014, 3 people died in a flight simulator when a real airplane crashed into their building.
Can we just appreciate that was the fact of the day being shared at what headquarters do you work at?
It's not the headquarters.
Well, what building do you work at? You know what
I work at Boeing. But It's not the airplane company part of it.
Yeah, thank goodness.
It's the missile defense, and it's the defense and space, and
it's
all
the
that
normal
part.
Huntsville stuff, in other words.
Right. The commercial side's up in Seattle, but for it to be shared in Huntsville, that's a Boeing corporate thing.
But still, yeah, it's like your cast TV, like we have backstage, right? It's like it's like, did you know that wasn't our product though? It's like that's a little asterisk was not a Boeing airliner, you know.
Yeah. Asterisk. This was at Universal Studios Orlando.
Was none of me. So I have to before we get too far into our topics, I have to play a sound that was requested. Okay. And I might find a time or two to annoy you with it throughout the rest of the show. But have you seen?
Is it something that I would be annoyed by, or?
Well, I would do it at a time that would annoy you. You know that.
Of course.
But you sent me a link to was it Venezuela? What South American country was it that was putting ads into Star Wars?
Oh yeah, that Chile.
It was Chile. Yeah. And so there's a guy at work who all day long today he's given us the. He was like, you need to put that in your next episode. I said, all right, I'll find. And I have a soundboard that I get all my stuff from. But like, it was just like, you know what? I think what we were talking this dashboard we're trying to build, and we're like, so I think what we need right there is a thing where when you click it, it shows, and he goes, CERVEZA CRISTAL. And it's like, no, we don't need ads in our dashboard, you know.
But it's anyway. Come on. If you haven't, so for those that haven't seen it, we'll post it in the group.
Sure.
But apparently in Chile, apparently it's not very Chile. It's very warm down there. When they show Star Wars, they find a way, and this is legit. I think I looked it up, and this is a legit thing. They found a way to put in product placement instead of going to a commercial. So when Obi-Wan reaches into his little satchel to get Anakin's lightsaber to hand it to Luke.
Your father wanted you to have this when you were older, but your mother wouldn't allow it.
Yes. And it opens up the satchel, and you see
Love it.
And there was another one where they were on the Death Star. Or no, it was on the destroyer, and Obi-Wan's opening up the center panel.
Yep.
And then you hear the Can you imagine? And what's funny, this is now Star Wars canon.
Yeah, right. Don't ask us how they got it, because it's a galaxy far, far away, but it was there on ice. We saw it, right?
Oh,
yeah. I told him, I said, I can't believe that NASCAR still hasn't figured out a way to not completely cut to a commercial, but we can seamlessly fit things into Star Wars in foreign countries. It's like NASCAR is already a big rolling commercial. Why do we have to show commercials? It's like commercials during The Price is Right. Why do you need to show me commercials during what is nothing but a big commercial?
So here's the deal. As everybody knows, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Wrestling has gotten very good at when they go to commercial, they go side by side. You see the commercials on one side,
sure,
and you see what's happening in the arena on the other side. Why can't NASCAR do that?
Well,
they do it every now and then.
It's even more important with a non-scripted sport. No offense to wrestling. It's even because wrestling, you could be like, all right, guys, dance around for about 5 minutes. I'll put in your earpiece when we're back or something. I know they don't have.
Well, it's not the earpiece. The red has to.
But you know, like he'll give you a signal when we're back.
Right.
Like you could do something, but in NASCAR, it's always, oh, there was a wreck or everybody decided to pit, and it's like, dadgummit, guys.
Well, what was it? We were watching Dega, and you know, your guy was in the front, and then all of a sudden we come back from commercial,
and he's like 20th.
Yeah.
What happened?
Mike McDowell's 25th now. What happened?
I mean, you know, that's important. Anyway.
Right.
I'll get off my old man yelling at Cloud's soapbox.
Here is my pitch.
Okay.
To make NASCAR better. You ready?
Wrestling in the middle of the track.
That would be cool. But in order to qualify, you have to do your fastest time lap, and then before they say, gentlemen, start your engines, you have to somehow use your sponsor.
CERVEZA, CRISTAL.
So somehow use your sponsor.
Yeah. So, okay, let's...
So Kyle Busch in the M&M's car would crack open a package of peanut M&M's and eat a few on camera?
Throw down some M&M's, right.
Like the Coke drivers drinking a Coke when they get out of the car at the end. Yeah,
drinking a Coke. Pennzoil.
Changing the oil in your engine. I'll get started in a minute, boys. I'm changing my oil. Yeah.
Lord help you if you're driving the Miller Lite car.
Well, I was going to say, Mark Martin in the 90s, that'd have been a little tough.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Lord help you if you're Sterling Marlin and you're driving the Coors Light car.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon, and I'm using a DuPont coating. How do you even use a DuPont coating? I have no idea. Oh, man. Hang on, it's Jimmy Johnson. He's going to Lowe's real quick. Come back. We have to start.
Well, no. You have to have, you build something in the pit box.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Tools from Lowe's.
I love it.
Home Depot's the same thing. Wait, was he the Tampax car?
No. Google it later. Google it. If you know, you know. We're going to leave it at that. Google it later. The old number 6. What would happen
if you drove the Tampax car? How
is there even one of those?
There used to be.
No way.
Hold up.
Maybe in the lower. I never remember seeing that, but then again, there was a period of time I wasn't very privy to NASCAR after Gordon retired. So who knows? Anything goes. Dave's fired up the old Google machine.
I have.
Silence.
Kyle Busch drew.
No way. No way.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch, number 1 point. Oh, this is probably fake news. It was fake news, dude.
Okay. There was a number 40. It was when they were the Impala.
That's a long time ago. Wow.
So, here, let me see if I can share my screen.
Let's fact check Dave.
Wrong.
Wrong. Fake news.
It was an ARCA car.
ARCA, okay, yeah. Which even makes less sense. That has no visibility. Like, that's not even making it to, like, the bottom 8 stories of ESPN, kind of thing. And they'll show anything these days since they took over and covering wrestling. Anyway, talking about cars. We had a car topic. We had a car topic you wanted to discuss, Dave. And you have a story that I have not heard yet that I need to hear.
Oh, brother.
So we both made the leap. Do you want to introduce, or you want me to do the segue?
No, I'll do it. We both made the leap to electric cars. We've talked about it before. My wife drives a Tesla Model X. You drive a Ford Mustang SUV.
No, a Ford Mustang Mach-E. I don't call yours a Tesla Model. It's a Ford Mustang Mach-E, all-wheel drive, extended range, 2021 Job 1 in rapid red.
SUV. Is it not?
Freaking jerk. You're really gonna look, man. Let me tell you something. I went to a car show, all right, and showed that car with my son. Had a great time. And
cool pictures, by the way.
Yeah, it wasn't even about winning anything, right? But when the judge comes over and they're talking, and they get down the list and they get to engine compartment, and I had ice in the front because there's a drain hole in the front of a Mach-E. And so I put ice in the front with drinks, and I had a picture of me and my dad with my old Mustang and a picture of me with the new one and all that kind of stuff. And they were looking at it and they were like, what do we do? There's no engine. And the head judge was like, no, you have to he can still keep it clean, the condition and everything. He just doesn't have belts and pulleys and all that stuff, spark plug, whatever. And so the judge walks over and says, this one yours? I said, yeah. He said, okay. He said, yeah, a place over in Bartow had me drive one. He said, I tried it. I drove it. I'll just stick with gas. You have a nice day. I was like, yeah, I'm not winning anything. I know for a fact. If that was the guy judging my car, and it was, that it's over at that point. So I don't need this whole, it's not a Mustang or SUV. It's a Mustang Mach-E. It's not, because, dude, I will dog the build quality of a Tesla so bad if you push me today.
You're about to dog the build quality here with this story.
I will hit you between the eyes with. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So, dance competition in Birmingham.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I was doing something here in Huntsville, and I couldn't make it down. I was going down Saturday to see Ellie do the competition, and Amanda and Ellie were going down the night before.
Yeah.
She calls me about Walker Chapel Road. So exit 267, about 7 miles from where she's about to going to exit. Says, "Hey, I got a notification that says battery level low. I can't remember what it said, but says that I can't go above 70 miles an hour."
Ooh, man.
I said, okay. I first said, hey, turn it off, turn it back on, do the whole IT thing.
Reboot it.
Said acceleration and top speed greatly reduced. Performance may be restored on the next drive. So
maybe he's very reassuring. Thanks, Elon.
Yeah. Luckily, she did not listen to me, because when she got to Mid-City, Uptown Village or whatever it is there now.
Is that in Birmingham? Or she was in Birmingham when this happened? Okay.
Yeah, in Birmingham, downtown. Stayed at the Sheraton, right there next to the SEC office, all that.
Yep.
She plugged it into the Tesla thing, went and ate at mugshots, came out. Car won't start. It says power reduced, vehicle systems shutting down. Unable to start vehicle, service is required. So we bought it through CarMax. We bought it used, and we bought the warranty. She calls CarMax and says, hey, how do I use this? What do I do for a tow? She said, all right. The CarMax says, we'll tow it to a place called Precision Auto. Well, are they authorized to work on a Tesla? I don't know. Hey, do you need us to top you off with some gas before?
Jeez Louise. Yeah, that'd be great. Just pour some gas on it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Jeez.
So we called Tesla. Luckily, we have a bumper-to-bumper drivetrain battery warranty till 2027.
Sure.
Totally taken care of. Problem. State of Alabama doesn't have a Tesla dealership or service center.
Ooh.
We could tow it to Kennesaw, Georgia.
Oh, man.
We could tow it to Nashville, Tennessee, or we could tow it to Chattanooga.
Well, Nashville wouldn't be horrible if you were home, right? I mean, that would be horrible.
My aunt lives in Chattanooga, so we decided Chattanooga. And Chattanooga could see it that day, the next day. Nashville had a 3-week wait period. Kennesaw had a 4-week waiting period.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Wow.
$1,700 for a tow from Birmingham to Chattanooga. We're getting Tesla to pay for it, by the way.
Okay.
Tesla's taking care of it.
Wow.
Luckily, working for Boeing, this is another one of those perks that you don't really think about.
Sure.
I get a heck of a discount through Avis. I was able to rent a car or an SUV for Amanda. I drove it down Saturday. Was able to rent an SUV for Amanda for a week for under $200. Amazing,
That's
right?
Good, yeah.
So that's taken care of. She's got a car. I rode back with Mom. That was fun. Taken care of. So we get a call on Tuesday. Hey, your long range battery has gone bad.
Oh my God.
Luckily, it's covered under warranty. No charge. Cool. Great people, great service center in Chattanooga. Amazing. I get off work at 5 o'clock on Tuesday. I've worked for 9 hours. We pack the family up in the truck. We drive for 2 hours up to Chattanooga. We get to Chattanooga about 7:30, pick up Amanda's car, drive back to Huntsville, 10 o'clock. Only 10 o'clock, we get home, fine. But drive 4 hours and you feel like it's 1 a.m.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because you're just dog tired. So next day, I am just dog tired at work. I go into work. Everything's fine. Amanda's going to... We left the rental car at Amanda's office thinking, okay, she'll drive the new car into work, or her car into work. At lunch, her and her buddies will drive the rental car back. Her buddy will take her home,
Yeah.
all the office, all that stuff. Get a call on Wednesday morning from office. Hey, Dave, Tesla won't start. It says low coolant.
Oh,
Apparently,
gosh. They did
the
not.
battery has coolant that needs. Yeah. So you would think that if there was a leak in the coolant system, there'd be a puddle under the Tesla, correct?
You'd think.
There's no puddle. So I get my happy beep. I'm yeah, sorry. I'm livid.
Dave just took a trip back in time to that very day.
Contracts. I'm a contracts guy.
Yeah,
that's
right.
my business.
Sure.
So they first said, well, we'll have to charge you for the tow to get up to
no, you won't.
No, you will not, Tesla. And then they come get it towed away.
Okay.
Get it to Chattanooga. They get it in the service shop.
Get it to Chattanooga again.
Again.
Okay. Wow.
Cool thing about Tesla is you could see everything that's going on directly on the app. They get in it. They do start the service. And it says initial charge $675. I take a screenshot.
What?
Yeah. I take a screenshot. I start typing away on that little message app. I said, you mean to tell me that there's not a puddle under this car? There's nothing here. And you're charging us $600 and something for your mistake?
Yeah. Sounds like somebody forgot to do a step, right?
Lord help this poor lady that I.
Oh, she's getting paid well. Don't feel bad for her.
Ripped her head off. Because she was sweet. We called after everything was done, and she was apologetic. She was great. Long story short, there was a vacuum bubble or a air bubble in the coolant system. They swear to me that they put coolant in the battery and drove it around Chattanooga, testing it to make sure it was fine. But, they said these are just some things that happened, that there was a vacuum bubble, that an air bubble in the system, and the system read as no coolant. They said when we pulled the battery out, there was coolant in the system. I said, okay. Can you promise me this won't happen again? She said, we did a full diagnostic and pulled all the air out, pulled all the fluids out, pushed it all back in, made sure it worked. I said, okay, all right. Funny thing, I called, after this was over, I called nice, sweet Dave on the phone, right?
Oh, sure.
The way that the app, I have a login and Amanda has a login. When they send the messages, you don't know which login it's from. So when I'm talking to this poor, sweet lady that was answering all of our messages on the app, she says, yeah, your wife texted and was really upset this afternoon about... I was like, yep, she sure was.
You were giving them the good cop, bad cop just by yourself.
Was.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Friday, this was Wednesday.
Yeah.
I couldn't get back to Chattanooga Wednesday night. Couldn't get back Thursday night. Friday, my youngest niece was having her birthday with the family birthday party.
Sure.
My Aunt Suzanne drives from Chattanooga to come to the birthday party. I go to work all day, right? Well, luckily work here at home, so I'm able to not have to be on, presentable.
Yeah.
Work all day, go to a birthday party, leave Huntsville about 8:30, ride back to Chattanooga with my Aunt Suzanne. So Chattanooga's an hour ahead. Chattanooga's on Eastern time. So I get to Chattanooga at 10:30. So 11:30 Eastern time. And for the first time in many, many years, I drove by myself 2 hours in the middle of the night, bringing the Tesla home. My wife, I said, first off, Amanda was trying to talk me out of it, saying, hey, just go up Saturday. We'll go as a family.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. I said, honey, I used to drive back and forth to Tuscaloosa at 3 a.m. because there was no traffic. That was my preferred time. She threw up the, Dave, you're not 20 years old anymore.
Wow.
Argument. Yeah. So, needless to say, for a week, Tesla was not my favorite car company.
I can imagine.
But Tesla has now taken care of everything. So, props to Tesla. But for a week, y'all, we were looking at new cars. Like, I was that mad, that ticked off. And do you see why I couldn't text this to you?
Oh, sure. No, that's a long story. Yeah, that's a long story. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that I mean, I got mine and had to take it in for something almost immediately. I mean, it's such the good thing about Tesla is their stuff's all mature.
Yes.
The app and the service. That's the only ding I would put against the Mach-E is that I still got to deal with a Ford dealership. And they're not known for their service, and the service is fine. It's the responsiveness that I had the biggest problem with. The car is magnificent, but the service advisors just like forget you exist sometimes. You know,
the one in Huntsville, I wouldn't send my worst enemy to.
Yeah.
Now I have a good friend of mine from college, Lauren Watkins. Her dad owns. It's not Watkins anymore. She's married, but her dad is Ronnie Watkins. Owns Ronnie Watkins Ford in Gadsden. That's where I bought my truck from.
Sure, yeah.
And I would send anybody within a 2-hour drive of Gadsden.
Well, you
can deal with Ronnie Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, you can. There's Bartow is probably where I'll take it. Bartow Ford is where I'll take it next. They're actually one of the biggest volume based dealers around, like in the southeast or even the eastern seaboard or whatever, you know. But it just trying to go to the hometown, like the local Ford dealership, like they've seen one before, but has that guy seen one before? You know, and
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like, you know, but that's the one thing I do have to say, and this isn't I'm not humble bragging because you dealt with an issue. I'm just saying it's been fascinating to watch Ford play the game that Tesla played for so long of trying to establish something new. Right. Because I did not get an update, because the way they used to update it is they had a list of all the Mach-E's, and they would do it in batches. Boom, boom, boom. And until your car was on the batch for that day, you just didn't get any updates. I've gotten 3 in the last month. And the last one was the update where we can use the superchargers now as soon as the adapter will arrive in May. Now, the interesting thing about it is, though, is all your Gen 3 superchargers, which most of your superchargers are right now, are built with the short cable, because the Tesla thing is in the back and you back into the space and it's on the right side. The Mach-E and Lightning, the F-150 Lightning, is on the front on the left.
So you have to park in.
You have to park straight in and get really up to the curb because the cables are short, right? But here's the thing. Tesla put out on the website and said it is okay to double park to use our chargers. We have no problem with that. And that's all well and good until spots 5 and 6 are the only 2 open. You take up both of them and somebody pulls in wanting to charge and they see non-Tesla, and then there's going to be, and so it's like, to own a Mach-E right now, it's like all the Mustang people hate you and all the Tesla people can hate us too. And I have to say one thing. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, and it might be Central Florida is not, I mean, it's purple, right? It's not red. It's not blue politically. It's kind of purple. But I have more people aggressive with me on the road now that I drive an electric vehicle than I've ever had before. More impatient, more aggressive. And I don't know if I'm just more heightened to it and it happened before I didn't think anything of it. But there is a stigma. And it's like, dude, I'm just trying to go to work.
We don't really get that here because there are a lot of electric cars on the road here in Huntsville. A ton of them.
I can imagine in Huntsville, given the scientific background of a lot of the engineering background and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just funny. I mean, I don't get it a lot, but I notice it every now and then where it's like, you are riding me pretty close, big truck. It's like,
hey.
No, you know what I mean. That kind of big truck. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway. Yeah, but I love it. I will drive this. I will probably pay to have the battery replaced instead of get a new one if the rest of it holds up. I enjoy it that much.
You'll pay more for the battery than you would your car.
I don't care. Right now, a brand new battery would run you $13.
That's not bad.
It's not horrible, and the warranty on the Mach-E's 8 years or 100,000 miles on all the electrical components, including the battery. So it's like got until 29 or 100,000 miles, and I'm only at 30. So, but I literally enjoyed enough to where I'll probably swap the battery out until some software bug hits, and then I hate it, and then coolant bubbles, and I'm looking, Oh
God, yeah,
like nothing's ever perfect, Yeah,
but you wouldn't think that the car that doesn't use like oil or transmission fluid or blinker fluid or no, I'm kidding.
Blinker fluid.
You wouldn't think that any of the downfall of the Tesla
would be fluid.
Would have been a fluid.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. It was the coolant to keep the battery from overheating.
Yep.
So,
I'll tell you though, I totally dig the whole one pedal drive thing. Do you guys use that on your Tesla?
you can, but I don't.
Oh, I love it. Just know it because the thing regenerates and gives some battery life back. And I know it doesn't extend your range, but probably about 10, 12 miles. But
not even that.
You won't have to, if you use it consistently, you will not have to change your brakes for probably 70, 80,000 miles.
Tell me somebody who drives their car consistently like that.
I do. I use one pedal drive exclusively.
So you don't brake?
If I need to, I do. I just run into stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no,
but I have. You get used to the point where you need to let up when you're coming up on a stoplight or something like that. You kind of learn that distance, and you let up, and the car will just brake itself. There's times where you have to, but I usually don't.
Do you drive Blair's car a lot, or do y'all always just drive your car when you go as a family?
She usually drive hers. I usually drive mine, but she will drive mine when she's out and about. And I'll tell you, when I even just trying to pull her car out of the driveway to pull mine in to wash it or something like that, I pulled it into the garage the other day, and my brain is in one pedal drive mode. I almost put it through the wall into the living room.
I figured you would.
I didn't hit the brakes until I realized.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Here's why. Like I still drive my truck mostly.
Yeah,
and so. That's probably why I can't get the one pedal thing down when I'm driving her car. Yeah. I think she might use one pedal.
Yeah.
But when I take my foot off the gas, holy crap.
Yeah.
That's
and until you get used to letting out, you don't just let out, you have to feather it off.
Right.
So it doesn't kick in too hard. Cause you could literally make yourself car sick if you, until you get the feel for it, but I tell you, I don't want anybody to hear this. I almost don't mind going into the office now. I still do, but I'm numb to it because I'll set the adaptive cruise and I'll set the lane control and I'll put the adaptive cruise down to like 20 and the thing turns on blue cruise and I literally just sit there and like eat a sandwich and the thing just handles traffic itself. It's like, like a breakfast sandwich, I'm just chilling while the car does all the work. And so it's helped with my drive a lot. I have to say that.
So yours, you don't have to touch the wheel. It'll do its own thing, right? See, with Tesla, you have to apply pressure on the wheel.
Yeah.
If you don't apply pressure, it'll turn itself
It'll deactivate, yeah. Yeah, this one, mine has an infrared camera right above the steering wheel that's looking at you. And if I look to the side or if I start touching like the podcast app and it knows I'm messing with the screen and it sees my face is turned away, it'll beep at me until I look at the road again.
So what if you're playing on your phone, but you're looking at the infrared camera?
It can tell. It can tell if your head's tilted down. Like even if your eyes are tilted down, it can tell. Like it's looking at you. That's why it's infrared. It kind of does that same kind of mapping thing that unlocking your phone does. Right. But I've tested it when I was in traffic, not going full speed. Like when I was in stop and go, I'll sit back and I'll just lean my head back, but I'll look down at the road and it'll see you lean back and it'll start beeping at you. And so then I looked down, but kept my eyes on the road. And so it's looking at that. Even if you're wearing sunglasses, like it's pretty smart. It knows.
Like even glasses as dark as mine?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It doesn't do it like 100% of the time, but I'd say 98% of the time, if I'm not doing it just to do it, like I'm going to test the thing and look away and look back, it doesn't do anything. But if I actually look away and am distracted, it'll beep at me, and it's annoying too.
I'd be screwed.
But it will. There are times where I just dropped something. There are times where it will, make you grab it. It's actually really cool because Ford's. This is the last thing I'll say about it. But Ford has mapped out the roads because it knows where you are because the nav system is built in, right? And
Right.
like with any car these days, but it knows where you are. But there's sections of I-4 that they have widened out to get the. Oh, we were in the wrong side.
We were in the wrong spot.
Sorry. There were parts of I-4 they've widened the median in because they're going to put the express lane and the sun rail or whatever like that, right? And when you get to that part they've pushed out, it makes you put your hand on the steering wheel because it's like you're not on a Blue Cruise approved road because you're supposed to be at this GPS location, right? But as soon as you cross over and it swerves back and you get, not swerve, but it merges back to where it was, like the original I-4, and the pavement changes, it kicks on. Like it knows that that's where the road is supposed to be. Like it's crazy that the type of stuff that's there, but I doubt anybody uses it as much as I do. I let the dadgum thing drive itself, but it makes
why not
Blair
though?
and the kids nervous. Every time we get to a turn in the road, they're like, "Oh, here we go!" It's like it's not a roller coaster; it's just a car.
I mean, it could be.
I mean, if this thing wants to malfunction, I guess it could be. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Let's try it.
Exactly.
Anyway. So, all right. So that is our. Hey, where did you go?
I'm right here. I had to pick something up.
So before we get into what we're doing for the next week, I think we have a question to be answered.
We do. You want to hear it?
I do.
Here it goes.
I do. I do.
I have this week's Virgil asked a question. A spindly robotic lander designed and built by a private U.S. company touched down near the moon's south pole on February 22nd, 2024 at about 6:23 p.m. Eastern Time. The probe, which is carrying 6 NASA payloads, plus a few other odds and ends, is the first U.S. vehicle to perform a controlled descent to the lunar surface since Apollo 17 landed in 1972. A Houston-based private company is overseeing the mission, which launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida on February the 15th, 2024. The lander's destination was a flat region near the Malapert A crater, about 300 kilometers from the moon's south pole. The spot is near one of the several potential landing sites for the future NASA astronauts. I have a 2-part question for you today. First part is, what is the name of the lander? And the second part is, what private U.S. company is overseeing the mission? Thanks, guys. Looking forward to the broadcast.
Do you know?
Origin, I believe, is the one that Blue Origin. It's not Blue.
Well, Blue is the Bezos takes his friends up.
Right, but that's they do that out of Houston, out of Texas.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. I don't know. I just know it happened.
It's Odysseus,
Okay.
Odysseus. And it's Intuitive Machines is the company, and it's the first U.S.-built spacecraft to land on the moon since 1972.
Yep.
And
Apollo
it now
17.
rests on its side because it got tipped over when it landed.
What's it called? He asked us what it's called.
Odysseus.
Okay, I thought you said the company was Odysseus.
No, Odysseus. Intuitive Machines, sorry, is the name of the company.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Stuff.
It's really cool. It now can't do anything because it's like a turtle. Help! I've fallen.
Yeah.
I can't get
Well, they
up.
said it landed upright, but data that's sent from it reveals that it's horizontal now. And it's like, who ran out there and pushed it over? You can't have nothing these days, man.
I know. The
Some little
aliens up
alien
there.
ran out and watch this, can't have nothing.
Yeah. Before we get into our next topic, and this is 2 weeks from now, I want to have this conversation, Adam.
Okay.
Conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy theories.
I work with NASA. My wife works for NASA. There are people in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
The city
There are
that
people,
built
yes.
well, the city that built Saturn V, the city that is helping build Artemis. There are people in Huntsville, Alabama, that believe we did not land on the moon. So I
They also
want
believe
to have
the Earth is flat.
I probably.
Go ahead.
I hope none of them work for NASA and none of them work with Boeing.
That should be question number 1 on the application if you work for NASA.
Right. Do you believe the Earth is flat? Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
I
no.
do.
Yeah. You ain't getting hired. I want to have a conspiracy theory talk. And what is your most outlandish conspiracy theory? What are some of the conspiracy theories that you possibly believe? They can be just, something small, like I believe Greg Byrne asked Nick Saban to step down. It wasn't Nick Saban's decision. Or it could be something big, as in Loch Ness Monster is real. The Earth is
I would
flat.
actually flip those. Byrne told Nick Saban would actually be big. Loch Ness would be small. Because if that was true, man, Greg Byrne would be run out of the state, my guy.
Yep, he would.
Anyway.
Well, if you read the ESPN article today, there might be some credibility to it.
Yeah.
Have you read that article yet?
The one where he said it was due to the players' attitudes?
Yes.
That you get 2 questions from the players when you talk to them after the playoff loss, and it was, what is my incentive to stay in terms of playing time? And how much are you going to pay me, or else I'll transfer? Yeah. It's a brave new world.
Isaiah Bond, we're looking at you, sir.
Right. It's a brave new world. It's what we all knew was going to happen, and I hate to say it, that I was somewhat of an advocate for it.
He told us so. Nick Saban warned us 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to have a conspiracy theory show. So
cool.
In 2 weeks, we'll talk it. I want some interaction on the Facebook group. We don't get a lot of it, but we get TJ, we get Vance, we get all, Jeffrey, we get all of our normals. I want to know what your conspiracy theory is. You listener, I want to know what you believe. What's the most outlandish conspiracy theory you've heard? And we'll talk it on the show.
Can we call them regulars and not normals?
Normies.
Please. Our regulars, our siblings.
Our siblings.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that.
So next week is spring break in Madison County as well as Polk County.
It is.
So both Adam and Dave are going to Disney.
We are.
On the different coasts.
Same brand, different locations.
Yeah. Have you seen there's reels of it, there's TikToks. I know you don't do the TikTok, but I know there are reels where they're talking saying, hey, you said meet at the castle. Yeah, I'm here. Where are you? And then they pan up and it's.
Oh, we have to do that. Yeah,
we have to do
that.
it.
Absolutely.
So I think that'd be a great.
I'm over here at Space Mountain.
Yeah. Well, I'm at Rise. You said meet at
Star
Rise.
Tours, right? Yeah. You could do that in a number of spots. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we should totally make those.
Oh, we should do one where I thought you said to meet me at the scariest ride at Disney. So what would that be at Disney World to you?
The scariest ride?
Scariest ride at Disney World.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan is the scariest ride.
Oh,
his eyes, his Captain Hook's eyes. Those, yeah.
Yeah, they're weird.
What's the scariest ride? I can't think of anything that's really scary.
Oh,
anyway.
no, I could think of the scariest ride at Disneyland.
No, at Disney
Monsters.
World.
Okay.
No, the scariest ride. Well, what I'm saying is if you could be at the scariest ride, you could be one at Disney World, and I'd be outside that Ferris wheel at DCA that I still don't know why God made somebody make that, man.
Are you riding? I need a video proof.
Heck yeah, man.
I need video proof of you riding.
Blair and I rode it, and I have never been that fearful on any attraction at any park I've ever. I'll ride Velocicoaster with my hands in the air, and that Ferris wheel still gets me.
For a while, you won't.
Well, no, it's back up now.
Is it back up?
It's back up now. Will you ride it again? Is the question.
I would.
Yeah, I
so
probably will too.
You'll also get a Facebook Live on the group because the Unrelated Brothers are going to be hanging out together.
We're going to go
at
live?
Disney Springs. Why not?
You're throwing a wrinkle in, man. You're throwing in plans that you haven't discussed with me. What if I don't want to go live?
Okay, fine.
What if we don't have good Wi-Fi?
I mean...
people. There's too many people.
What if we stand next to that board at Disney Springs that right outside Polite Pig? That
they've replaced those though. I was so sad. I was
Were
so
you
sad.
really sad though?
No, but when I saw it was plastic, it's funny. We tried to get folks to listen to us because I used to own digital displays, and they didn't want us involved in those. And we had a perfectly good solution, and now they're all plastic. Makes me sad.
I used to, like, for backstory, like, first off, when Adam and I would go into a park together, he'd stop and look at all the boards at the front of the ticket office and make sure they were all working.
Yep.
I used to take pictures and send it to Adam, like when one was going out, and say, "What are you doing, man?" Yeah.
If they don't tell us, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. There was that one though. Those fans and those things were so.
I know.
So I mean, you'd open that thing up, man, and they were horizontal fans, and so they were a long blade that had fins on it. They would spin. As soon as you open that thing, it's like finger trap right there in front of you, and it's like, we don't want this. Well, this is what we decided. Anyway, that's years ago. That's water under the bridge, but it's still bothering.
Honestly, dude, no, it was only about a year ago they changed it.
No, this was when we had these conversations. Like, this was 2 years pre-COVID that we had those conversations with them about those displays at Disney Springs, and they didn't want to listen to us.
So first off, we have to decide what restaurant are we eating at Saturday night?
Saturday night.
Where else do you want to meet? Do you want to just come hang out at the Polynesian?
I don't know.
You want to go into Magic Kingdom on a Saturday night?
No. We'll pick one. I don't know.
You could go to Epcot. No, never mind.
We could go to Epcot and get some of that good that barbecue drink at Club Cool, man.
Honestly?
That is my jam, dude.
Barbecue drink?
Oh, yeah, man. At Club Cool, there's one that's from China that's sour.
Oh, it's raspberry.
Sour plum, and it tastes like barbecue sauce.
No, it does not. What are you talking about?
Dave, it's well documented that there is a drink from China that tastes like barbecue. Google it, man. Not the raspberry one from the Philippines. The one from China. It's called Smart.
Push your button.
Push what button?
From where?
Oh.
China.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It's called Sour Plum Smart from
China.
But no, it's from China. It tastes like barbecue sauce. And I came across a post, and there's a rope drop humor. Have you ever seen that Facebook group? It's a satire. No. Like, people will complain about something that's so dumb and everybody laughs at it, and it's just kind of a lighthearted thing. But there was a serious post out there about that sour plum drink that tastes like barbecue sauce. And people are like, this is worse than Beverly. Can you believe that? Worse than Beverly.
No.
So you have to go to Epcot at some point when you're down here. You have to try that, and I need your opinion because it literally is my favorite. And I have contemplated taking some type of cup with me in there that's big and just little cup by little cup, filling something up with ice and enjoying it all day.
Well, how about this? You know, all the Cokes at Club Cool, they have at the Coca-Cola thing at Disney Springs.
Yeah, they have it on the flight, right? You can get it upstairs with the...
No, you can buy a big...
No way.
You can. You can buy a big 20-ounce of Beverly.
Shut your mouth. Don't you lie to me.
Upstairs.
If I get there and it's not there, Dave...
That's what we're doing. That is what we're doing.
Donkey.
I will buy you... I'm
going to buy you a drink.
Whoa.
I'm going to take you to Disney.
We can go eat at Planet Hollywood.
Oh, we could go eat at Planet Hollywood, have food poisoning, and then go drink some barbecue drink from China.
China.
We should go to Chicken Guy.
Why not? I love Chicken Guy.
I love Chicken Guy. You know, I like Chicken Guy.
I would like to get into Polite Pig, but
not going to happen, dude.
We could try first. How about that? Let's go look at Polite Pig.
Look. A, I live down here year round. I don't stand in lines. B, I'm flying multiple hours to go stand in lines. I ain't standing in the Polite Pig.
Are you though?
What do you mean?
You're going to buy Genie Plus and you don't have to stand in line.
I'm not going to buy Genie Plus every day. I might do I might do the illest.
We'll illest?
See. Yeah, individual lightning lane.
Oh, no. You got to do Genie Plus, man. Do Genie Plus, and that way you can do all of Disneyland in one day and all of
that's a tall order. There are a lot of attractions at Disneyland. My God.
I know. But and you'll be able to do what Amanda and I did. Don't ride any of the rides that are repeats. So if they're just a Control C, Control V from Disneyland to Disney
That's
World.
a copy paste for you non-technical people out
Yes. Then you've ridden it at Disney World, so why ride it at land?
there. So that would be what? Voyage of the Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, that would be
Not Small World.
not
Not
no,
Teacups.
it's totally different. The teacups really
Outdoor teacups is totally different experience.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Galaxy's Edge then.
All of it, yeah. Walk through it, but
Yeah.
Runaway Railway
Yeah.
is a just pick up and
It's
copy
a
and
repeat.
paste.
Yeah.
There's something else.
It's not many. It's not a whole heck of a lot. Space Mountain's not the
No.
same. Star Tours is the same.
Yep.
But
And
this is
really, I
different,
hate that I'm
Hate
going
it?
this week now.
Why?
Because if you've seen what's coming in a couple of weeks, April 5th,
No.
Andor, Mandalorian, and Ahsoka layovers
For Star Tours?
for Star Tours.
Wow.
I am so
I love that
excited.
they found a way to continually update that ride. They can never get rid of it.
No, you can't.
You can't.
It was the original Star Wars ride, and
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like Figment. You just can't.
the only thing that don't flame me.
Oh boy.
Star Tours belongs in Galaxy's Edge.
No, it does not.
There's only one way to do that. And I love Muppet Courtyard as much as anybody else.
Don't you say it.
But at this point in time, Muppet's Courtyard,
Don't you say it.
Muppet 4D, or Muppet 3D,
3D.
hasn't been updated since 1993.
Doesn't need to. It is chef's
When-
kiss.
When Sniffles breaks open the wall and you see a guy in short shorts
Talking
and
about Sniffle.
or whatever his name is,
Sweetums.
Sweetums, yeah. When Sweetums,
Anyway.
yeah, when Sweetums breaks open the wall and you see a guy in circa 1993 shorts,
Taking pictures with disposable cameras.
right, and his Mickey T-shirt banded
No.
shirt. I mean, look,
No, Dave.
it's
Everything
so old.
on that ride is a flumy.
Yeah, it's so old that the style from that scene is now sort of come back in style, and it's about to leave again. So,
Like those Reeboks I just bought.
right, exactly. Which, by the way, you can't see these in Radioland.
Ooh, fancy.
I just bought a pair of Air Jordans.
Nice. So
That hurt, by the way. But the
all you
only
did was
way
raise your foot. I'm kidding. That was actually
the only
pretty
way
complicated.
to bring Star Tours in, and you can add another ride in Galaxy's Edge if you extend Galaxy's Edge through Muppet Courtyard.
So you're going to get rid of Mama Melrose.
It's the worst.
Dave.
It is the worst
Dave.
restaurant in Hollywood Studios. Name me one worse.
The catering company. The one over by Indy.
That's dude.
What?
Backstage.
Backlot Catering Company.
That is a quick service, Mom.
It's still
I'm
a
talking
restaurant.
I'm talking about sit
You
down.
would pick Hollywood and Vine before you'd pick Mama Melrose.
Yes, I would because
It's a character dining. Yeah, I know exactly what you're going to say before you even say it. Such a homer. I got to see the characters.
it's not for
It's
me.
for my girls. I know, Dave. I know what you're going to say before you say it. I know. Oh, that was awesome.
I mean,
Oh,
come on.
man.
If we're talking sit down dining at Hollywood Studios, top of the list is going to be 50s,
Yeah.
then Brown Derby.
Oh, Brown Derby would beat out 50s in my opinion. I love a good Cobb salad. You cannot find a good theme park restaurant where you feel like you're actually being served at an actual restaurant like that.
Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention Brown Derby in our text conversation a couple of nights ago,
Okay.
where we had the you said we'll talk offline.
Oh,
I'll
no.
remind you
What did I
offline.
say about what?
We'll talk offline. We'll talk offline.
Okay.
Where you originally called me a homer about this topic.
Okay. Oh, the restaurants. Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah,
I didn't even mention Brown Derby.
That is true.
So, in my mind, see, I was trying to be political, dude. I was trying to be political.
Good job.
You got 50s, you got Brown Derby.
Yeah.
You've got sci-fi.
Mm.
You've got Hollywood and Vine, and then you got Mama Melrose.
Look, I got to be honest with you, dude. I love sci-fi, but if they showed an actual movie,
right,
I would like it more. I don't care if I even don't get to see the whole thing, but by the time I've had my meal, it repeats. I love it. Please don't get me wrong. I love it. It's one of the coolest ideas ever. I absolutely love it. I just wish they showed a movie. So that's going to give me the edge to Mama Melrose. So
over sci-fi?
Over sci-fi, yeah.
So you put that over sci-fi and you put it over Hollywood and Vine.
Character dining is not really my thing. That doesn't mean you don't have to agree.
I understand.
You don't have to agree.
I'll just say Olive Garden's better food.
Oh my gosh, you cannot be serious. Dave.
See,
this is sideline warning, hot take Dave.
Marie and Enzo's was better food.
Well, Marie and Enzo's is not Olive Garden.
But you and I, that time we ate there, it was not the best food. That was about, 6 years ago now?
Yeah, I think it was.
That was right when they opened. So
hang on, I'm looking at what did I get last time I was there? I got let's see, where's the lunch menu?
Marie and, so Mama Melrose has a good lasagna. And
I got the chicken parm.
About it.
The chicken parm's good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So you're going,
so don't do repeats. That's where that was a heck of a tangent. Holy cow! So don't do repeats. Got it. Yeah.
Don't do repeats. And how long's it been since you've been to Disneyland?
Ooh, man, the last time I went to Disneyland was well before COVID.
Okay.
It was probably I moved away from that team and into IT in 2017, so it's been at least 7 years.
Okay.
It's hard to believe.
I want to, since you're also going to do something Disney, Springs probably, right before you go, I want a full report on our next show.
Of what?
Because so my experience, I go to Disney probably more than you do, actually, as a
if you looked at number of days in a year, probably so, because you go for chunks of time at a time.
All right, that's what I'm saying. And this is no disrespect to the cast members and the park at Disney World. I love Disney World. I'd put it over Disneyland. I still would, just because of the hugeness, the hugicity of Disney World. Yeah. But I found, in my experience when I went 2 years ago, was that Californians and the cast members there take immense pride in their park.
They do.
And not just the cast members, the guests walking around the park who are just who've come for the day. My thought going into California was what a normal Californian would be. Oh, get out of my way. I'm looking down my nose at you type thing. But I found more people talk to you at Disneyland because they're so proud of their park. They want to know where you've come from. I've seen guests bend down to pick up trash. The cast members there are what I remember cast members from 2015, 2014 Disney World. It's to me, it was night and day. Cast members that live in that area and guests that live in that area, I was blown away by the pride they took in their park.
Well, there's something that comes with working at the original place, and
it's not just that though.
They have so much local traffic there that there's a sense of like an ownership, right? Yeah. And I think a lot of if you look at your pass holders here, I think there's that same sense of ownership. And I think for better, for worse, whatever, it just comes across in a different way out there than it does here in some ways. And it's
like
just
another podcast I do.
Well, yeah, but exactly. But I think at the end of the day, it all really does come down, to use your word, the hugicity of it. Is Disney World, everything's supposed to be bigger and better and more amazing. And so the expectations, I think, are a little bit different. Whereas the things they do at Disneyland, I'll use an example of the candy canes they make at Christmas. They've done that for decades and decades. And there's a line and there's a process, and you get your candy cane. And when they do, different events and things like that, it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. I mean, you've seen some of the Sweetheart Nights and stuff they've done for events out there. Walt used to have those events when he was still alive. Yeah. They would do Sweetheart's Night at Disneyland, date night at Disneyland. And so they draw a lot more off of that. I still think the most underrepresented thing that we can remind ourselves, both as guests for you and for us when we go, and for cast, is that Disneyland is the original. And there is nothing like seeing that candle or that lamp in the window above the fire station. And I say bye to Walt every time I leave that part. Yep. And it almost chokes me up every single time.
Do you remember, real quick, tangent, do you remember when I was there, I texted you, I took a picture, I was like, oh my God, the light's not on. What's going on?
Oh no. But it's
Walt's not here.
Exactly. But I think the most underrepresented thing about Disney World that the guests don't really talk about, and I don't know that the cast really don't talk about either, is there's a pride. You work for this place and everybody knows what it stands for. And a lot of the why we do what we do is the people that save up and all of that. But at the end of the day, what Disney World is, and what we all need to remind ourselves of, Disney World is a love letter from Roy to his brother.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and a lot of people, the Roy statue, and then you have the partner statue. I wish that they would have done something more together with them instead of having them separated, because I don't think a lot of people understand the history. And there's actually a book called, hang on.
Got it, boys.
Yeah, Building a Company. That's about the business side of this and how Roy finished Walt Disney World for his brother. And not long after Disney World was open, Roy passed away. And he spent the last years of his life finishing something for his brother because he loved him so much. And that, for me, is what makes it special. Is there's not much left in the world that's built with just a dream and love for family. And if it didn't make money, it didn't make money. If it made money, it made money, right? You would never have anybody attempt to do what they were originally setting out to do with Disney World ever again, because there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees. And that to me is the special part that I think needs to be reinvigorated with people here. But there is a lot of pride. I had a guy, I'll tell this story. Had a guy on one of the tech teams I was working with a long time ago. This is nobody who's there currently today. He's since retired. But he said, out here, I'd flown out there. It was the first time I'd gone out there. I was meeting with everybody. And he said, is your first time out here? I said, well, on business, yes, but I've been here as a guest. And he said, well, what you'll find pretty quick is that out here, Walt Disney is a man. In Orlando, Walt Disney is the name of the company. And I think that sums up how they feel about it. I don't think everybody in Orlando feels that way. Like, we all are like, what would Walt do? And we still say those kinds of things. But to them, whether or not that's true of people in Orlando, the mindset in California is he walked on this pavement. Yeah. He walked through these doors. He had an office in this building, that type of stuff, And there's just a magic that comes with that you just can't replicate. It's just the way it is. Right. But there's still a story to Disney World that makes it just as amazing to me. So
I totally agree. In fact, I cringe every time I walk into Magic Kingdom. I get pictures of my girls next to the Roy and Minnie statue, and I cringe every time I hear somebody say, "Oh, let's go look. That's Walt sitting there with Minnie Mouse."
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's his brother.
In fact,
it's the guy who secured the money, for Pete's sake. Without that, you got nothing.
I've got the Cinderella Castle pop sitting over here, and still it's one of the few that I still have in the plastic. In the casing. I was actually very upset because when they did the 65th for Disneyland, we got Walt holding Mickey with Sleeping Beauty Castle. I was very upset when they came out with the 50th anniversary Magic Kingdom Cinderella Castle, beautiful, but it's Mickey Mouse with it in his iridescent
suit. Yeah,
cool, great. but I wanted Roy
with Minnie.
because
It would have been a matching set.
It would have been a beautiful set because Walt was Disneyland. And like you said, Roy was Disney World.
Yeah.
He did it for Walt, but I believe as the company should elevate Roy for Disney World, Walt Disney World, like they do Walt for Disneyland.
Yeah. I mean, one of the very first things.
Opportunity.
Well, and it's a good. God, I can't believe I'm this old, and I know I'm saying that I'm not that old, but I am this old. That when I started going to traditions, the class you go through at the beginning, one of the very first things they taught you is Walt was the guy that started the company. Roy O was his brother, because brother has an O in it, and Roy E was the nephew, because nephew has no O in it, only has an E. Like that's how they like. You had to know who these people were, and not that that's gone. I think people still know, but it just. We talked about it briefly when they did the 50th, and you've got the fireworks and everything. I totally would have just started that off with that quick story that this place is here because of Walt's dream and a brother's love, and that's all there is to it. Big finale, you're done. In 5 minutes, I'd be crying. You know,
yeah.
There's
they finally
there.
did. They finally put that scene on the castle.
Yeah,
why they didn't start Enchantment with that?
Yeah,
I'll never know.
Yeah, well, creative decisions. You know, we're not in those rooms, unfortunately, but.
I want to be in the room where it happened.
Exactly.
Where it happened.
But I'll say this. Let me say one more thing really quick. You have not been to Epcot since they opened the new area with the new statue and all of that, right?
No, but I have seen Journey of Water.
Yeah. I'm talking about the new park area.
Right. No, I have not.
Not to dismiss Moana and her Journey of Water. But let me tell you, this is one of the things that I have to give Imagineering props for. And it's something that I think is going to be lost on a lot of people. Is maybe not a lot of people, but some people that we know and love, I think we might be a little bit lost on. Right. Is that Epcot was always supposed to be the community of tomorrow, was actually going to be a city. And then, what's his name? What's his name? I have his book too. Marty Sklar. Pushed the concept they had of the future park and the concept they had of the permanent World's Fair and pushed them together and said, why don't we just build the whole thing? And that's why Epcot is there. And no one would ever build another Epcot today. We've talked about this before. No one would ever build an Epcot today. It did not in and of itself come up with enough theme rides or pull. People were interested in anything that was new back then. And it was such a new concept. This pivot that they've done with the new Epcot is perfect on so many levels. It's given them the perfect amount of dining capacity. With mobile order, it works seamlessly. They have a really good Starbucks now that's sized appropriately for the park. The new merchandise location's really good. But what I appreciate the most is that area that they have opened up with Walt sitting there, and he's sitting there looking out over that space, is no retail. It generates $0. It has no characters. It has no merchandise. It is just a place to be.
Yep.
And there is nobody, not Universal, not Six Flags, not SeaWorld, not even us, I would have ever expected to build a space that large in a theme park that just lets you be. And I think that's why the statue that they put there, for me, a lot of people didn't understand it. I perfectly understand it, and everybody should, because he's sitting there watching people sit in a park with their families, which is why he started this whole thing in the first place. Yep. Was give me a place just to be. And it just, for me, is just the chef's kiss. And I don't know what they're going to finish. We'll see if that works out too. But that new space, that green space, the fact that Adirondack chairs and the tables, you can go and get something if you want to sit outside. There are plugs. People are working out. People are working from home, from Epcot, and it's just like so nice. I just really appreciate what they did with that, because, again, it's a decision that not a lot of people would have the courage to make anymore, because there's no financial return on it. So
I do wish the statue was a little bigger.
Well, it has to be life size.
It's less than life size, I think.
No, you got to see it in person.
I was expecting it to be a larger than like a Nick Saban statue.
No, you sit next to him. It's like you're sitting next to him.
Right. But I was expecting it to be like the statues outside of Bryant-Denny. Like
He was
I
just
was
a man.
expecting it to be that. I know he was, but
He wasn't a god like Nick Saban.
well, no, in that company he is.
Yeah, but he's just a man with a dream,
I know.
dude.
I know.
This
I know.
the one at DCA's life size, him with the camera.
Yeah,
You know?
I know.
I get what you're saying, though. I get what you're saying. But anyway,
Yeah.
I could wax lyrical on that all day, but that's one of new Epcot, and I never thought I'd say this, is one of my favorite places, even more
I
so
love
than
it.
Veggie Fruit Epcot. So
Honestly, I am super excited this trip. I've been looking forward to this for a long time now.
yeah,
For two reasons. One, I'm excited about Epcot. I'm excited to get to this Epcot. I've talked Amanda into writing Guardians. I've talked Amanda into writing Tron. You know how hard of a deal that was for me.
oh yeah,
Finally, Harper is tall enough to ride Tron. So I think that was my easy push to get her into it. But the other thing I'm excited about, we're taking a couple of friends of ours. Adam, you've met Morgan and Ben.
Mm-hmm.
They ran the Princess Half Marathon with us. We're taking getting the pleasure of taking their 2-year-old daughter and 9-month-old daughter to Disney for the first time. So
nice.
I am getting to see a family who loves Disney. Well, Morgan loves Disney. Ben tolerates Morgan loving Disney. I'm getting to see a family see Disney through their children's eyes again.
That's awesome.
For the first time. And so, what hooked me to Disney was seeing the park through Ellie's eyes at 15 months old. The thing that made me realize I'm going to spend a crap ton of my money here was when there's a video on Amanda's Instagram from 2015.
Okay.
Her on my shoulders watching the Electric Light Parade, just this glowing smile, waving a little 15-month-old wave and clapping along. Seeing that picture makes me tear up because that is what Disney is. And the girls have been to Disney 30 times each. And it's still amazing to them with that much magic in their hearts every time they go.
Yeah.
I get to see another family experience that for their very first time.
That's
and so that's why I'm excited about this trip.
Yeah.
So, just to remind you why you do what you do, Adam.
Thank you. No, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. We have we've talked more about Disney in this episode, I think, than we have talked about Disney since we've been back.
In a while, yeah.
But this is the kind of talk we can have about Disney. Adam does work for Disney. We have to kind of keep our P's and Q's, just like we can't talk bad about Boeing all the time.
Just their factoids.
Just their factoids and their choice of them. Another factoid. Did you know that Ben & Jerry's is not the biggest employer in Vermont?
Really?
It is. I can't remember what it was, but it was like Walmart or something like that. It's not.
Got it, yeah. Employer
Jerry's
in Vermont. Let's see. Fire up the Google machine one last time for this show.
Yep.
Bay.
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 B-A-Y with 30,000 employees, followed by the University of Vermont Health Network.
Probably their hospitals.
Yeah.
Where has Ben & Jerry's on that?
Bay. What is Bay? Vermont.
I don't know.
Bay.
Hey,
Working at Bay. The Bay Corporation company profile. Okay, yeah. No, I can't find what they do, but they do something.
All right. All right. Well, so there is this week's episode.
Hang on. This is the Bay Corporation is located in Colchester, Vermont. This organization primarily operates in the business activities at non-commercial site business industry within the business services sector. That sounds shady to me.
That basically sounds like we do business. I'm a person.
Businessman. I'm a businessman, but business.
I have
my gosh. Point me to business.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's our show. I am super excited about getting to hang out with Adam, be it for just a couple of hours. I hate that we're actually going to be in his home, in his backyard, and he's leaving us.
Got to get out of here, man. I heard you were coming. I'm like, we're going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Not really.
Adam Russell, you just finished an episode.
Sorry, I had to one more time.
Adam Russell, you just finished an episode of Unrelated Birth. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to Disneyland.
All right, so we will see y'all in 2 weeks where we will have a trip report. I gave Adam some homework. I wanted him to tell me about cast members there and what he sees. And we're going to talk conspiracy theories. Conspiracy.
Conspursed. I have to do some research.
I want your outlandish and your believable conspiracy theories in the Unrelated at Birth listener group. If you are not part of that group, find us on Facebook. It's just facebook.com/Unrelated Birth listener group.
That's it.
Something
easy.
That's
or
it.
something like that.
Just search Unrelated Birth listener group.
That's the easier way. Excuse me.
And I'll do another plug. You know, if you want to listen to a edgier Unrelated at Birth, there's a podcast. It's a video cast that I do. It's not really a podcast with Matt called Around the Fire Pit. I say edgier because Matt says some wordy dirds every now and then.
Dave basically redoes this show, but with bad language. I'm kidding. It's not really. It's a good show. I'm giving you a hard time.
I mean, no. I will say this. Adam was giving me a hard time too, saying, "Well, y'all do more social stuff." Or Matt overuses the at everybody.
He's used to Slack, man.
I know. But Unrelated Birth is my baby. This is the show that I started with Adam as nothing. This is, in my mind, this is the best show that you can listen to now that Rick and Bubba are retiring. Why not? You know, we're just the two sexiest, not fat, but
yeah, I don't know if I'm going down that path.
Two sexiest guys.
You just basically said their tagline like William Shatner with the dramatic pause. The two fat men.
All right,
oh
Adam.
My gosh.
So if they want to call into the show and give us their conspiracy theory.
I don't know why I wanted to push a button. I just wanted to push a button. I'm sorry.
All right. If they want to call in the show and give us their conspiracy theories, how would they do so?
They would call the delivery line at 863-345-0088 and leave a voicemail after the beep. We will play it on the show as long as it is relatively family friendly. And most of the ones we've gotten, we played even when someone called us from a fax machine.
I mean,
and tried to connect to the internet through the delivery line, which is not possible.
Let's see if you can give the phone number away now, even with the banner gone.
863-345-0088. That's 0088.
Good for you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyway, all right. So, guys, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate the interaction we get in the Facebook group. What?
You're testing me on the show. Like, do you really know the number, or are you just reading the thing on the bottom of the screen? Testing me.
Have you met me?
Testing me.
Have you met me?
You don't even know the URL. You're like facebook.com and I don't know, something like that.
Facebook, dude. It's a Facebook group. Just search for the group on Facebook. Anyway, guys, we really appreciate y'all. The interaction we get with you guys on the Facebook group, the interaction we get through the delivery line, the fact that y'all download our show, it does blow our minds. You listen to two crazy people talk for an hour.
Crazy guys.
On a crazy guys for an hour and 20 minutes about our Tesla issues.
Your Tesla issues.
And he drives a Ford SUV. But y'all,
I will end. I'll end the show abruptly. I already did it once. I know
you will. You did it once. All right, Adam, take him home.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thanks everybody again for listening. Give us some of your time. We love you, but not as much as Jesus does. Stay safe out there. Be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you again in 2 weeks.
About conspiracies.
Conspiracy. Bye.